What's going on, everybody? You are now tuned in to the Triple M podcast. My name is MP.
Stefan SB.
And man, guess where we're at today, SB? Come
We're
on.
still in the same place.
We ain't never left. We at Olympus Boxing Club, and we have a true treat for you guys today. True treat, who has an incredible story, has a lot of experience in and out of the ring. This guy is, when I first heard him, like, damn. That's true dedication, and I'm sure you guys would agree when you hear this, man. But who do we have on today, man?
Man, today we have Dylan the Shark Schroeder. He is a professional boxer from Calgary, Alberta. Currently at 2-0, going for 3-0 this year.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He is committed to being the best in the ring, and his efforts to bring up aspiring athletes really show the spirit of a true champion. His story not only motivates young boxers, but also embodies the power of boxing can transform lives and communities. Without further ado, welcome, Dylan.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Man, Dylan's here, man. What's the one pose you do?
Schroeder flex, he said.
Schroeder
There
flex.
you go. Love it, man. So let's get straight into the meat and potatoes here, like we always like to say.
Hell yeah.
So everyone always has like an interesting story of how they got into boxing. You know, for me, I'm just like, I just want to make sure if someone wants to test these hands, they can get tested. You know,
They will get tested.
yeah, they will get tested. But for you, like, what's your journey?
Oh man, it started when like grade 2, like when I was 7 years old. I was getting bullied a lot in school, and my parents they didn't want me to just shy away from everything and just not pay attention to these bullies and all that. So they put me in Taekwondo. It was the closest thing to us at the time, the dojo or whatever. And I don't know, maybe like 2 or 3 weeks into it, I would go back and I would, bust these bullies up. Right?
Yeah.
That ended up with me getting kicked out of the gym, actually. I would go back to school and I would fight these bullies, and then I would get in trouble. I'd start getting suspended. The dojo would come to know, and then I got kicked out of the dojo, right? So from there, my parents seen a passion, a drive. They seen that I wanted to do something, right? So from there, I went into jiu-jitsu. The gym used to be right here, actually.
Oh, damn.
It used to be called BDB.
Like right across?
Yeah, like that right there, the cider house. That's where I started. Like that's where I started
Damn.
jiu-jitsu, yeah. And they were my parents were big fans of the UFC and all that. So from jiu-jitsu came Muay Thai and kickboxing, came boxing. I was on a tight schedule after school too. My parents would drive me straight to the jiu-jitsu gym on Mondays and Wednesdays, and then Tuesdays, Thursdays I'd have Muay Thai and boxing or whatever, right? And I'd just be switching back and forth because the initial goal in the beginning was UFC. I was looking up to Hakeem Dawodu out of Calgary, right?
Yeah.
He was in the gym I was at the time, and I was following him, right? But it just came into a point in my life where I had to decide where to go, right? So from there, I was looking at the damage you take in the UFC and also the pay grade too, right? And I just decided to go with boxing.
It's a good story, man.
Yeah.
It's I'm gonna jump into it right away. I was gonna actually ask you this first question, but this shark. How did you get that name?
My mom's, bro.
Okay.
My mom's, I don't know, she's like a big fan of sharks and Jaws and all that, right? And I think my first or second fight, Muay Thai or boxing, I don't remember, but I was just pacing in the back, doing circles. And my mom's like, that's what a shark does before it attacks the prey. So, shout out to mom. She gave me the shark, and it kind of just, it stuck, right? Dylan the Shark Schroeder, the S or whatever. So I kept that. Dylan means from the sea in a different language or something like that. So if I was from the sea, I'd definitely be a shark.
Yeah. Out of curiosity, what's your ethnicity?
Pakistan. I'm from I was born in Pakistan. I think it was I was a year old before I came to Canada.
And is like combat sports big in Pakistan?
I don't think so, bro. I don't think so. I think we had Amir Khan, but he was fighting out of
He's London.
yeah, he's fighting out of London or whatever.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think it's that big.
Gotcha. Because like when we were talking off camera, like your father was like he put you guys in this stuff, and like he was training you in a basement. Like where do you think he found the love of the sport from? Honestly,
he just wanted something different for us. He didn't want us to have the regular 9-to-5 life. He didn't want us to do what he was doing, right? He would wake up at whatever 4 or 5 a.m. and go hustle, bro. Go try and put food on the table for us. He didn't want that for us. He didn't want us struggling, trying to make ends meet, right? So he's seen us driven in the sport. So he's like, I'll push you guys. Like, I'll push you guys until, you know, like, you guys break or you guys make it. So, you know, my pops, you know, like, big shout out to him. If it wasn't for him, me, my brother and sister wouldn't be where we are right now. You know, we're really talented, and you know, we work hard because of him. He pushed us. He gave us something. He gave us a different look. Like, he's always telling us, you know, I don't want to see you waking up at this time doing what I'm doing. You can do this. He always believed in us, you know. So that's where it comes from, bro.
100%. Because, bro, boxing, like combat sports, especially because Filipino parents, we're kind of similar, you know, like very like strict parents, conventional, like you have to follow the traditional path. But like, good on your dad for noticing. Like,
I was just gonna say,
right?
It's a totally different approach, because I already expected that, you know, for especially with immigrant parents, they're like, get a 9 to 5, you know, finish school, get a job, and then just stay on your 9 to 5. But kudos to your dad, because that's a totally different approach.
No, 100%. I'm grateful for him too. You know, if it wasn't for him getting up when he went to work to wake up me to go on my 5Ks, you know, in the morning, he wake me, my brother and sister up when he was going to work. Wake us up at 5 a.m. or whenever he would go to work, and he would drive to a point in the town we were living in, to where when we turn around to go back, we'd hit 5K, and then he would go to work. You know what I mean?
Damn. Yeah. And you were young at that point.
Oh yeah, my brother was only like 12, 13. So yeah, we're all killers, bro. We're all killers. We're all coming up, and it's a big thanks to my dad. You know what I mean? I'm not with him anymore. He's on my training. He's training with my brother and sister, but he's still doing his thing with them.
Absolutely, man. Let's jump into your amateur boxing career. Just walk us through the whole thing.
Oh yeah, amateur boxing career. Because I had a couple fights in Muay Thai, like a couple tournaments or whatever, I was thrown into the open boxing.
Right away?
Right away.
Damn.
I remember only having 3 fights going to nationals, fighting this kid from Quebec with like 180 fights. Yeah.
3 fights?
3 boxing fights. 3 boxing fights. I remember going to the national camp or whatever where we had at the time in Lodgepole, and there was this kid telling me, "Oh, you're at 56." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm at 56." He's like, "Oh, you're gonna fight Avery, this Avery kid from Quebec." I'm like, "Okay." And then he's like, "He has 180 fights," and I was like, "Okay." Then I started like thinking, right? But yeah, straight into like nationals and big open fighters, right? Like I fought a couple kids from Calgary when they were at like 30, and I was only at 5, 6, and I just kept going. You know what I mean? Like I came out silver twice in the nationals. I was getting my golden gloves and all that at the time, and then like I was always wanting to go pro for some reason. Like from 16, I was thinking about, Dad, like, let's just go pro, and it just wasn't the right time or whatever, right? And and then I went to Australia, and I had a couple fights there too, right? So.
How many fights did you have in total?
Amateur boxing?
Yeah.
I had like 60 plus.
Damn.
60 plus
so you did have a lot. Okay.
Just because I traveled, right?
Yeah.
Like over here it's pretty hard for me to keep going. So what it was, like during COVID actually, my dad was an essential worker. So we could pass the border and all that. So he'd throw me in his truck and we'd go across the border and we'd fight down there. Vegas, Denver, Chicago. I stayed in Chicago for a bit. And I was just doing my thing down there, getting fights up there, and then I went to Australia, got a couple of fights up there too. Wow. So it all adds up, bro. Like over here, like the boxing community is not that big out here. I feel like it's more of a recreational thing for kids over here. It's not really. You ask a couple of kids, they'll have like 20, 15 amateur fights, and that's pretty much it around here. You know what I mean?
Before jumping into obviously your experience in Australia, which is pretty big, I just want to ask you this question because, as you said, the boxing scene here, especially in amateur right now, it is growing absolutely from where we're at. But obviously, if you compare it to the United States, Eastern Europe, 60 fights as a Canadian from here, that's a lot. Yeah. As an amateur fight, but obviously in other countries it's not. So, what do you think other things that we can do here differently to actually get to that level where it's gonna be 60 fights will be not enough.
Honestly, just things like this too, like raising awareness for, you know, kids that want to actually do it and not just doing it for fun or whatever. Maybe we can get something going, something better going, you know, like having big tournaments like Brampton Cup in Toronto that happens or whatever. Right?
That's true.
They do that and everyone comes out there. Bigger things like that would work because, you know, down in the States they got I don't even know what that one's called, but
They got one every weekend.
yeah,
Crazy.
every weekend. And the thing is, I remember going to this one tournament. They had 8 rings, bro, and a fight
Yeah.
each
Is that
each ring
in Vegas?
in no, it wasn't in Vegas.
That's probably in a lot of states.
yeah,
anyways.
a lot
It
of
doesn't
states they
matter.
do it, bro.
And when we were talking, not to cut you off, but when we were talking to Angelo, they had a fight, his card where it was from 8 a.m. to like 1 a.m.
Bro, they put in work. Like even just to stand in lines at the weigh-ins is crazy.
Yeah.
Because you're standing there for 3 hours. You'll be standing there for 3 hours.
That's worse
bro.
than the fight.
Yeah.
Bro, I'd be fighting in the weigh-in line, bro. That's
I've been
crazy.
fighting everyone in front of me, bro.
Yeah. Holy.
But I love that, man. It's just raising awareness, and that's what we're trying to do. You know, we want to be able to, you know, start the wave, man, to recognize that we need more, and we need more support, because obviously we can't just do it ourselves.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, fighters like you, where you experience, you know, not a lot of experience here in Canada, but you had to travel, you had to cross the border and all that, which is also good, obviously experience, but why can't you just stay here?
Exactly, yeah. And we have like Olympic qualifiers and stuff, and
Yeah.
yet I don't see much people from Canada going to the Olympics for
Yeah.
boxing at least.
Yeah.
I don't like. I see maybe 1 or 2 guys from Canada fighting for Canada, right?
Where they're from Quebec.
Yeah, and they really base it off your style too, right? Over here, they're really strict with it. They don't want like any of this or. Right, they want like that bouncy European style.
European
And
style,
if you don't, you'll go to the nationals and you'll place first or whatever. But if you don't have that style, they're not gonna select you, bro. They're not gonna select you.
Yeah.
It's really political out here. I don't really like it, and you know, it's not like, especially for someone like my brother. I'd love to see him in the Olympics,
Yeah.
right? But it, you know, it's kind of hard to see him fight. Like I love watching him fight. He's a great style and everything. But I'm thinking about the future. I'm like, shit. My brother doesn't have that style. My sister don't have that style. But we like to fight how we were molded, bro. You know, we have it. We're
Absolutely.
completely different from everyone else. That's where we're getting these awards. And you know, we'd hop out of the ring after a fight, and everyone would come up to us like, "Oh my God, like, how'd you learn all this?" Right? Like who's your trainer? We'd look back at my dad, or I'd look at my brother and his sister or whatever. We're learning off each other, bro. We want to be different. We're looking at fighters. We're looking at pro fights while we're in the amateurs, trying to be like these guys, trying to be like the Floyd, and trying to be like Crawford. And there's nothing wrong with that, bro. And the fact that, you know, these guys are basing your ticket to the Olympics off your style is kind of wrong. You know what I mean?
I agree, man. Because like, bro, if you can fight, you can fight. Right? If you can fight really well, for example, your little bro, bro, send him to the Olympics. Right? Like, we don't need a certain style.
Exactly.
Right?
And it's hard because if it's not your style that they want, it's really hard because you can't try to be someone you're really, especially if you're not comfortable with.
No.
Right?
Yeah. No,
I actually had this trainer try and mold me into that because, you know, that like I did want to go to the Olympics or try at least, but it didn't work out, bro. I'd go right back into how I wanted to fight.
Exactly.
Right?
Especially that's where you, and if it works for you, right? I get it. It's a different style where you could use it differently, but at the end of the day, Olympics is nice, but if it's gonna be hard for you to make that, then might as well make the money and turn pro.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
exactly, man.
You look at people like B-Hop and all that, like, they didn't go to the Olympics. Like, he
Yeah.
got out of jail at 25.
Yeah,
And
he start making money, bro.
Yeah.
Might as well make money.
Yeah.
Talk about your pro career before we move into the second part we want to ask you about. You turned pro this year,
Yeah. July.
July, right? And you've already had 2 fights.
Yeah. Moving on to the third now, bro.
That's soon too.
2 weeks.
2 weeks, yeah, exactly. How was the transition from going from amateur to pro? I love asking this question because I always want to know how everyone's experience was. For example, Angelo was like, it took me 5 fights to really get my groove on, right? How was your experience?
Honestly, bro, being that fighter that hops out of the ring after your amateur fight and everyone tells you, you know, you're gonna be a good pro. It didn't really faze me. I got in there and I felt like this is what I'm.
This is home.
This is home. Like, this is what I'm supposed to do. Cause I was always in there defense first in the amateurs. I was defense first, and I didn't like doing the whole tap patty cake thing, right? Like, I just like to hit you, move, get out of the way, land my combos, like significant shots, and get out of the way, right? And for that too, I'd be taken away. Fights would be taken away from me, you know, and in the judges' eyes, right? It's like, oh, it's not tag, you're not playing.
Yeah.
Like it's a completely different sport, right?
Yeah.
So I felt like I transitioned better from going pro. You know, like I felt way better my first pro fight than I did any amateur fight.
Wow.
You know, because I felt like when they were about to raise my hand, like I knew.
It's kind of come on.
Yeah. Just do it.
I was right there. Wait for it. I was right there.
The
waiting
other one's
for it.
already raised. Bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because I knew, right? And then also a big thing now is the gloves, right?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I can feel me like
Way
not
faster
like
now, too.
my fight in Colombia. I felt the first shot I hit him with, I was like, okay, yeah, you're going down. Like I know that I can drop you, right? I was going in the first round. So no, like for me, I love the pros. I was made for the pros, and I'm enjoying it.
Different.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Just follow up question with that, because you had your two first fight is in Edmonton, correct?
Yeah.
Then the next one obviously was in Colombia, and then now you're gonna go to Cabo for your third
Cabo,
fight.
yeah.
How hard was it to actually secure those fights for you?
Bro, like, so when I came back and I came back to Olympus and started working with Angelo on getting a fight or whatever, the first time, like, when we were supposed to do the June 30th card, like, that didn't work out due to, it had nothing to do with the fighters or anything like that. It's just business and all that. But after that, I took that short notice fight, July 15th, that I was still in shape for. So I was like, whatever, let's do it, right? I was actually supposed to fight the same guy on June 30th. We just figure out a slot on the July 15th.
Yeah.
The only thing is just paying our way now. Like the July 15th one, when we seen that, you know, they're looking for potential fights, we called the guys. We said we have our opponent, and we can drive up there. He was like, okay, you gotta pay his purse, and you gotta pay for like the slot and all that. I'm like, okay,
Like I'm paying to fight,
yeah.
essentially. Right?
And at that point, like, I get two in my head sometimes, bro, and I feel like I'm falling behind. I'm 22, and I was like, let's do it. Like I'm trying to get my pro debut. I'm trying to get my pro career started, right? So I jump into it. I say, whatever, here, take the money, let's do it. And then same thing for Colombia. Like it's not really hard when you're paying your way.
Yeah.
You know, for these fights, it's not paying the opponent to just hop in there and fall or whatever. These guys are coming to fight.
Yeah.
Right. So it's just kind of hard, you know. You, like, for me at least, like, I work a full-time job, and then I come to the gym after work and put my all in, right? And then all this money is going to you know, someone else for getting in there and fighting me, right? So
Well, I love how you say that, because that's actually the reality right now, especially with fighters in here in Western Canada just starting up. They think when you're a pro, you just make all the money, right? But I love how you say that, and thank you for sharing that, man, because it has to open a lot of eyes. Where boxing scene here, we all know it's not as big. We had one here, but obviously you got canceled. So, like, I ask this with everyone: what do you think? Obviously, with the amateur career, but now as a pro, what other things that can we do to help to make that boxing scene here for pros a little bigger?
that's a hard one, bro. And all I can say is keep doing what we're doing, like, as a team. Like, we have Steve out there putting in work for us. We got Archer. I can't pronounce his last name, but
Better be.
Better be. We got him he's undefeated, you know. And then we got Angelo. We got myself. We got a lot of pro boxers, like, let's say Western Canadian wise, putting in the work, putting our name out for us, you know. And I'm hoping that does something for us, right? But other than that, I'm not really too focused on the Canadian boxing scene, bro. I'm trying to get out. I'm trying to solidify myself. You know, I'm trying to solidify myself and do something bigger than anyone ever did in Canada. You know what I mean? I'm trying to do something different.
Yeah.
Trying to do something completely different. I'm not looking for any fights in Canada or Mexico or anything. I'm trying to go to the big top ranks and the Showtime. You know, I'm trying to do those things. That's all I dreamt about since a little kid, bro. Even in, you know, junior high school coming up, everyone would, like, be like, why is this kid not like looking into post-second, like, you know, the post-secondary things, like why is he not going to the post-secondary thing is like, I got what I'm doing after school. I know what I'm doing, right? Like, I'm trying to be a boxer. I'm trying to make it here, like, and I'm showing my friends, like, this is top rank. Like, I'm gonna be on this, showing the teachers like,
yeah, baby.
you're not gonna be nothing. Teachers tell me you're not gonna be a boxer. You want to go to the post-secondary thing and pick a trade. I'm like, I got me. You know, I'm working hard towards this. Like, I wake up before all you teachers and I go run around this school and then back home and then come to school, right? So, really, like, I'm just going to keep putting in the work, and hopefully, you know, by the time that Ashton's ready to go pro or whatever, my younger brother, I'll have something like a platform or, you know, sign where I can get him on too, right? My sister's doing her thing, so I'm not too worried about her. She's doing her own. She might even get me on. Who knows, right? But, yeah, we just got to keep doing our thing, bro, and showing people that, you know, people from Western Canada can fight too.
True.
We work hard. We have talent, right? It kind of sucks when you see people that, you know, people on promotions like some of the undercard yesterday, right? You're watching these guys and it's like, bro, I can fight better than you.
100%.
Like, I know I got better gas than this guy. I have a harder right hand than this guy. It's like, why don't I have a shot, bro? Why can't I be on there? Just because of my flag? Just because I'm from Canada? Who knows, bro? Like, you don't really see much Canadian flags on you know, PBC and Showtime and all this, right? Like, when they're walking in and it has their flag there or whatever, you either see the United States flag or you see the Mexican flag or UK,
Facts.
yeah, right? And it's like, bro, like, we have strong boxers in Canada,
Absolutely.
bro. We have really good boxers in Canada. And I speak on, you know, everyone, like Olympus and we have really good boxers coming up. So give us a shot, bro.
Absolutely.
Like, give us a shot.
Agree.
I sacrificed everything. I put everything into this. So really, I deserve a shot. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
I think if you just got to keep working, man. That's,
Yeah.
Obviously, we have the disadvantage of not having that exposure, but at the same time, don't let that discourage you anyways, because it'll be you know, it'll be worth it at the end, as long as you just keep doing what you're doing, man. Jumping into that question, you know, your experience in Australia, you know, with what you're telling us, all these hard work, and man, I can see it right away. Talk about that experience in the George Kambosos gym, because when I watched that interview, he said you're pretty much doing everything in that gym. You're cleaning it, you're there 24/7. Just talk about that experience.
It actually started with me getting laid off from my job, bro. I got laid off, and I kind of got into it with my dad about, like, what are you doing? He was like, what are you doing with your life? Like, you're applying for all these jobs, or you're gonna go chase something? And I was like, shit, man, like, this is it. Because in high school, I was always thinking, I gotta take a big trip. I gotta do it, because I always knew Canada wasn't it, bro.
Yep.
For boxing, at least, right? I was like, I gotta do a trip. And my dad was like, what are you doing? So as soon as I hung up that phone with him, I remember just going on Expedia or whatever, booking a flight 3 days before. 3 days before.
Damn.
Yep. I told my mom, and then my dad came back, and he was actually shocked. He was like, what the? He did it?
You asked me what I was gonna do here.
Right? I was like, I did it. And I'm packing my suitcases and everything, and I left, like, a comfortable life. I left, you know, having my family, having a full fridge, having a car to drive around, and I just showed up in Australia, bro.
Why was it Australia?
So at the time, actually, well, backstory, my George was a fighter that my dad loved. My dad loved George Kambosos before he even fought in the States or anything. I don't know, social media, you know, you see videos and stuff. He's like, this is a good fighter. And I remember always saying, Dad, like, I'm going to go train with him one day. He's like, no, there's no way. He's a superstar. And I'm like, watch, I'm going to do it. But around that time, he just did the Teofimo fight. He got all the belts, so I was like, this is a perfect timing, because if I go down to the States or, you know, try to train with someone like Devin Haney, or, you know, I feel like a lot of those boxers are kind of selfish, and they wouldn't really give me a time of day or anything. So that's why I chose Australia. You know, one my dad loved George, and George was in a spot where, you know, like, he was a man. He had the 4 belts. He stood, you know, like, the whole dream without fear thing, bro, it really it stood out to me, because he was from Australia. It's kind of like the position that I'm in, right? We don't have a big boxing scene or anything like that, and he went out there and he chased the spot where he can get into a mandatory position for Teofimo, and he went out and got it.
Yep.
He got that shit, bro.
Yep.
You know, so I look up to George for that. You know, like, he's just a really big like role model for me.
How did you get into the gym?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. It started with me like kind of messaging George, like trying to like. Yo,
So you were just
George.
just straight up DMing him.
At first, before the belts, he was training at a gym where I could get the address. It wasn't a private gym.
Okay, yeah.
Right? But then he got the belts and he bought his own gym. It was $500. And I was like, oh, fuck, like, what do I do, right? But I was just creeping him, really. I seen he was training at Ethos Strength and Conditioning. I booked the Airbnb pretty close to that. And as soon as I land, I go to the Airbnb, I throw my suitcase. Like, I remember throwing my suitcases and I sprinted to this Ethos training, strength and conditioning. I sprinted there and I'm waiting out there and I'm sweating, right? And I'm like looking at it, there's no one. And I'm like, shit. So I go back and then I seen on their Instagram that they're training again. So I sprint back and I walk in and I'm like out of breath. And I'm like, can I speak to the owner of the gym? And they're like, what? Like, he's busy. And I'm like, can I speak to the owner, please? Like, it's important. And they're like, where's your accent from? Right?
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
I'm like, I'm from Canada. Can I speak to your owner, please? And honestly, thank God for this, bro. The owner, Mir, like, he changed everything for me. Like, he's a really big part in this. Mir comes out, and I shoot him my kind of like what I've been trying to figure out on the plane, like what I'm gonna say to this guy, right? And he comes out, and I'm like, bro, I came all the way from Canada. I just landed. I'm looking for a chance with George Kambosos. Like, can you tell me where he trains? Can I speak with him? Can I do something? And he's like, what if I told you no right now? What would you do? And then, like, it really hit me, and I was like, shit, like, I'm really across the world.
Yeah.
And I didn't really have, like, a plan, like an actual plan. I just showed up. And I was like, I don't know. I looked at I don't know. He was like, he gets all my information and all that. And he's like, I don't know, bro. I'll let you know what I can do. And I was like, shit. So I go back to the Airbnb. I'm sitting there for a day. The next day I go out because, you know, I thought it might have been my last day in Australia. Like, my second day would have been it. So I go out and I'm just traveling and I hop on the bus. I go to Bondi Beach. Sorry, all my Australian friends saying that I pronounced that wrong. I always pronounce shit wrong for them. But I go to Bondi Beach and I'm just like walking around, like, just, I felt like I was done, bro. You know what I mean? Just walking around, looking at the beach, and I couldn't even be happy. You know, seeing the ocean for the first. That was the first time seeing the ocean. I couldn't even be happy. Yeah, it was beautiful, but I couldn't even be happy because I thought that was it. And I'm just like, damn, bro. Like, I really messed up. Like, I spent I don't know how much on a flight, and I'm out here just walking around doing nothing. And I feel my phone buzz. I pick up my phone and it was from Mir. He says, wow. I still have the text. Dylan, you have a chance. Make the most of it. With the address and the time and the date. It was the next day and I was like I just started crying, bro. Like there was nothing else that, you know, really made me happy at that moment. Wow. And I was like Mir really changed everything for me. He went, he spoke to George, he told him about me. That's where he got the whole cleaning thing from, because I was like, bro, whatever, like, I'll clean the gym. I'll clean the gym, I'll do whatever, just like get me in with Kambosos. And then the next day I go, I show up like 2 hours early just because I was like,
you're ready. Yeah.
Like, I'm about to see George Kambosos. And I get there 2 hours early, I'm just sitting there, but the thing was, it was just in such a weird location. I thought Mir's just like messing with me. Like, I'm sitting there like, this is not a gym, bro, right? And then I see a car come through the alley and Xander Zayas was in it. And I was like, this is it. Yeah. Like, Xander's here and then Xander's sitting in the car and I'm like staring at him and he's like, what the fuck is this shit looking at me like that for, right? And I'm like, holy shit, like, I'm seeing pro boxers and shit. And then some more Australian boxers come and they start like talking to me and they're like, where the hell are you from?
Yeah.
Like, I'm from Canada, this and that. And they're like, you know, I tell them like how I got here and everything, and they're like, that's crazy, bro. Like, you're crazy for that. And I'm like still waiting on George, and then I hear like music blasting, and he's coming in his SUV, his whatever SUV he had, and I'm like, my like heart just drops, bro. I'm like, holy shit, that's George Kambosos right there, right? It's crazy because you see all these guys on TV and shit. It's like, wow, man. And he gets out, and I was about to go dap him up, and he walks like right past me. And I was like in my head, I was like, damn, this guy didn't give a shit about me. You know what I mean? He walks right past me, he opens up his gym, and he goes in there, and I walk behind everyone, and I'm like, okay. Start wrapping up, start warming up and everything, and then he's like changing right beside me. And he like looks over and he's like, "Are you Dylan?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm Dylan." And he's like, "Nice to meet you, bro. This and that. Like, Mir hit me up about you. I'm so happy that you came." And I'm like, "Thanks, man." He's like, "We're sparring tomorrow. I'm gonna bring in someone for you. If you want to come join us." I'm like, "Fuck, let's do it, bro."
Hell
So
yeah.
they're training. I'm training. I'm in the bag. I'm shadow boxing, the ferocious ring, and all that. And it was just a crazy experience, bro. I show up the next day. They loved the way I was sparring and everything. It was just at the time, I think he was 3 weeks out from Devin Haney. So he ended up leaving to Melbourne like 2 weeks before to get his weight right and get all that right. So there was a coach, his assistant coach Ronnie Sinclair, that he told me to go to his gym while we're away, and I was like, okay, yeah, sure. So I go and I start training over there, start sparring over there, and my dad was like, he called me and he was like, why don't you go to Melbourne and watch the Devin Haney fight? And I was like, shit, in the nosebleeds? And I was like, fuck, I guess so. So I fly to Melbourne for the fight. I buy a nosebleed ticket, and the fight started, and his dad, Jim, was walking into the tunnel after like the first fight or something like that. And I was like, Jim. And I waved my hand out, and he's like, Dylan. And he like calls me down, and I'm like, shit. I start walking down, and security grabs me. They're like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And I'm like, Jim's right there. He told me to come. He's like, no one told you to go. He pushes me away, and Jim comes and grabs me. He's like, no, he's coming with me. Gave me the backstage pass. I'm walking around the back going to Devin Haney's style. I'm going to Devin Haney's side, like looking at what he's doing and shit. Bro, when I went to Devin Haney's style, there was like 10 girls in there, like 10 like girls in there or whatever, and one trainer and his dad. It's like, what the hell is going on back here? And they're bumping music and everything. And then I go over to George's side, and you hear the cracking of the pads and everything. And I'm like, this is crazy, bro. And then you start seeing like the Maloney brothers and all that. And I was just like, wow, this is crazy. And then I was right on the platform, bro, watching this fight.
Wow.
Right on the platform, walking out with all the fighters and everything. Like, and it was crazy because like I came from just coming to train to being floor, like ringside, ringside watching George and Devin fight.
Wow.
Right there, bro, in the Marvel Stadium, sold out, 40,000 people.
And all you had to do was book that fight.
All I had,
you know what?
That's it.
I'm gonna do this.
You just take that. That's all I did, bro. I took the risk.
That's crazy.
And it paid off. Like, even though I'm fighting out here right now, I still made some great connections. I believe that 2024 things will change, and I'm gonna contact my team in Australia, and we'll get some work in from there, bro.
I think it's the second fight camp now.
Yeah. So the second fight camp, we weren't expecting a second fight camp. Obviously, I thought that we all thought that George was gonna do his thing, and didn't work out that way. So second fight camp, well, actually, George was back in the gym the next day. He flew straight back to Sydney. He was right in the gym, lifting weights, doing whatever. And I was like, that's someone I want to be around, right? I always surround myself with, wolves, bro.
Yeah.
I don't surround myself with people that don't want to work hard like that, So, yeah, straight back in the gym. I was sparring at Focus Boxing a bit, sparring at George's gym a bit, just jumping, seeing what's going on. And one day I go to the gym with his good buddy Huss, and we just pull up to get some rounds in for him. And he's like, before we go in the gym, he's like, be quiet. I'm like, it's like 1 p.m. He's like, yeah, just be quiet. So we go in the gym, and I realized that George is sleeping upstairs.
Damn.
This second camp changed everything, bro. He ended up flying his family out for a vacation. They went to like Portugal or whatever. His wife and his kids were staying away, and he got like a mattress upstairs and his PlayStation, his TV, his fridge, and he stayed in the gym.
Wow.
Right? We started sparring. He woke up. I thought like we woke him up. I was like, oh shit, right? But he comes down and he's in a good mood. Like it was just training for him at that point, bro. It was crazy to see something like that, cause a lot of these boxers on social media, they'll say that they're putting in the hard work, and you can see it sometimes that they don't. But George, he would just stay in the gym, train in the gym, sleep in the gym, and just like boxing, only boxing. Like he went back upstairs, and I would hear him put on like a old Roberto Duran fight. He would just watch boxing and then train and then go up, watch boxing, sleep, go to Ethos, whatever. Wow. Right? So it was just crazy to see that.
That's a great mentality you have, especially, you know, obviously the first fight he lost, but after that he was just like, no man, like taking that loss for a lot of people, especially a lot of fighters, that's gonna be a little bit, you know, discouraging, but changed everything the second camp where he's like focused more on boxing and he just lived in the gym. Mind you, he didn't have to do that.
Yeah, he was up there writing on his whiteboard like, second time it will be even sweeter. Like all the stuff he said in like pre-fight interviews and all that, like all about being the hunter now.
Yeah.
He would write that down on the wall, and I would take pictures of everything because it's fascinating to see all this stuff, right? Like I can't remember what he wrote down, but it was something like ferocious 2 times, second time will be even sweeter or something like that. And I was like, this is crazy.
Absolutely.
And in training too, it was just like pure focus. Like when he would hit the bag, he would be like 2 times. And I'd be like, damn, bro, like this is crazy.
Damn, yeah.
And I aspire to be like that, bro. I just want to be a hardworking guy and someone that, you know, youngins can look up to and be like, I wanna be like that one day. You know, just hungry. And especially someone like George, because, you know, he was getting his checks and all that, but he was still hungry.
Yeah.
He wants those belts, right?
He didn't have to live in the gym.
He didn't have, exactly. He was chilling.
Yeah.
He was fine, but he still chose to get this little bed in the gym and make, like I did, be uncomfortable.
Yes.
Put himself back into a spot where he was uncomfortable just so he could focus on the fight.
That's
right. He came in with a different game plan.
Yeah.
It was working. You know, he did good and everything. But you know, it is what it is.
It's boxing, man.
It's boxing.
It didn't stop him. Now he got a win, and he's on to bigger fights still.
And
right?
the bigger thing is that he's showing fighters that him and Caleb Plant nowadays, they're showing fighters that it's not bad to lose your O.
Absolutely.
Right?
True.
Absolutely.
Like when he first hopped off the Teofimo fight and straight away went to Devin Haney, I was like, damn, bro. Like no fear at all, and that's where I get it from, bro. Like I don't have no fear. That's why I'm so interested in fighting overseas or in the States or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid to lose it. If George's not afraid to lose it, I'm not afraid to lose it. You know what I mean?
I love how you say that because, not to say that one of the negative things that Mayweather fight guys is to protect your O, but man, just taking the challenges, having like. You know, having a loss doesn't matter because what that'll do is that'll just make you a better boxer or a better person. But let's talk about everything that you learned during that experience because, man, number one, that was a great story.
Yeah, crazy.
Amazing, man. It shows you that literally just by deciding to say, hey, this is going to happen. I'm going to meet George Kambosos and I'm going to learn a lot of things.
Yeah.
Guess what you did? And you got extra stuff. You're in the whole event, right? But talk about the lessons. I know off camera you're just saying how you went there to learn boxing, but you came back, learned completely different things.
Yeah.
Obviously boxing still, but talk about that.
So yeah, on the flight there and just the build up, I was just like, I'm gonna learn. You know, I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna ask George this. I'm gonna ask George that. I'm gonna talk to his coaches about what I should be. You know what I mean? And I did get a lot of that, and I'm completely grateful for all that and all the trainers and different pro boxers, amateur boxers for helping me with you know, different tips, skills, and all that. But the biggest thing I took away was just wanting to inspire people. You know what I mean? Like I. Every day or a couple days, someone would come up to me or DM me saying, "Hey man, like, you came all the way from Canada. Like, that is probably the farthest away. Australia's probably the farthest away from Canada.
Hell, man.
Right? You left everything. You don't have nothing out here just for this sport. And for that, like, you're an inspiration." And, you know, when I started getting all these messages and people telling me this, I'm like, wow, man, like, it feels different. You know, like, that's what I want to do now. I want to be someone that people can look up to. I want to be someone like George. I want to be someone like Caleb Plant. You know, I want to be a big name in this sport, not only Canadian boxing, but, you know, international. I want to be someone like a Muhammad Ali. Like, why do people remember his name and not, you know, someone like Jack Dempsey or something like that? Because he's doing something different for people that are not in the sport, like not boxing or whatever. He's doing something bigger. And me, like, I just, I want to take kids out gang violence, and I want to take kids out, doing a 9 to 5 that they don't like. If you don't like something, bro, you can go do something else.
Absolutely.
You can go do what you want to do. Don't do it just because, like, it's what you have to do. Like, do something different. Be happy with your life. Because at the end of the day, we only get one, bro.
Facts.
You know what I mean? We only get one life, so do something that you want to do, and something that makes you happy, man. Because
as cliche as it sounds, man, YOLO. You only get
Yo,
one life, bro.
Yeah, that's facts, man. Facts, bro. And like the one thing I will give you praise on, bro, it's like you took the risk to go into Australia, not knowing if it would work out or not, right? But you had the vision, and you believed in it so much.
Manifestation.
It happened. Right? Like, you can do literally whatever you want in this world, right? The choice is whether you're going to actually act on it or you don't.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Imagine if you didn't, right?
That's from a young age. Like, my dad would, we would be sit back, we're just watching a fight, like watching someone like Mayweather or whatever on TV. And my dad was like, you're going to be up there one day. And, being young, it's like, you don't really pay much attention to that. But as I grow older and he keeps saying that, you're better than this guy, you're better than that guy. As crazy as my dad was, but I started believing it. And then, like, he starts saying, you're going to go to the UK and train, you're going to go here train, this and that. I'm like, still thinking, like, damn, like, really? I'm going to leave all this at home? I'm going to leave you guys and go train? And it came to reality, bro. Like, it's just crazy to see. And I surround myself with a small circle of people that believe in me, and that's a big thing, like my in-laws and my girl and everything, they believe in me. They want it. They can, it's weird because people that they're not even my blood, they want to see me do it. They don't want to see me waking up at 5 or whatever and going to work, doing a 9 to 5 and then going to the gym. They believe that I can do it. It's crazy to see because, just a regular person would be like, you're not gonna be that, you're not gonna be a superstar boxer or whatever. So this small circle of people I have with me right now, it's really motivating, and it allows me to just concentrate on boxing.
That's facts, bro.
I love it, and I see that especially in this gym, that circle that you guys have, and it's
no egos in this gym, bro.
Oh, absolutely.
Dude, Olympus Boxing, it's been the only, like, other than Australia, there's no egos there. I'm not gonna lie, no ego. Like, even George, he was like, someone like me letting his gym, right? But here, bro, no egos at all. And that's what I love about this gym is you go in there, and even someone like Steve Claggett, you'll see him working with someone with no fights.
Yeah, exactly.
Or talking to him.
He was working with me. I didn't even have a fight then.
Exactly, bro. And that's everyone in this gym.
Yeah.
They'll help you.
I love that. I love that about him because no egos, man. We're all there to just get better. It doesn't matter if I had 80 fights and you have none. You're there to get better. I'm here to get better.
I felt like if I came back from Australia without that inspiration mindset or whatever, I would have had an ego. Because, I just came back from... I just came back from training with George Kambosos. But no, like, he taught me... Just being in Australia just taught me, just be grateful and be... I'm just happy to inspire people now,
I love that. I love that, man.
There's a lot of kids here that they don't know yet. And it's like, when they start talking to me, you're going to find out. And then they're like, damn, bro. And then you see them go push harder in the gym.
Yeah.
They go and start hitting the bag harder. And it's like, that's what I want. Work hard, bro. Chase something different. That's what I want. I want to, even from now, only being 2-0, I just want to keep inspiring people, making sure that, not only my brother and sister sees that, we're doing something different, but other kids, like, not even in boxing too.
That's true. Anything in life.
Yeah. Get out the street, bro. Go play, an instrument or something. Whatever you want to do. Chase it. It's
just do it.
It's hard, yeah, but just do it, bro. Nike.
I was gonna say Nike.
You know what I mean? Just do it.
Cliche as it sounds, it works.
With hard work and, like a strong mindset and everything, you can do whatever you want in life, bro. Whatever you want. If I didn't do boxing, I would still be hustling. Just not mine. Doing something else, bro.
Boxing is just that instrument that you chose.
Exactly.
Right, man. Moving on, Brett. What's next for you?
Yeah, bro. So we're gonna finish off 2023 3-0 in 2 weeks in Cabo, and then 2024 we're thinking of doing a Olympus Boxing Pro card in Deerfoot Casino. So stay tuned for that. But other than that, I'm like I said, I'm always chasing something big, bro.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna hit up my connections that I got in Australia. I'm gonna go train in the States. I'm gonna go do a nice training camp in the States. I'm just gonna keep taking risks, bro, until I make it. That's it. That's all I can do, you know?
And as you know, man,
Yeah.
you will see results.
Exactly.
This is not new to you, bro. And you probably don't even have to travel that far anymore, unless you actually get that fight in Australia. So
Who knows, bro? Australia,
sir.
no limit. Ronnie,
yes, sir.
what are
He's
we
here.
doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing? 3-0 now. What are we doing? Let's do it.
sir.
I'm not afraid of nobody. You know, not afraid of nobody. My brother and sister not afraid of nobody. When they're pro, it's game over.
Yes, sir.
Schroeder's headlining that card. You know what I mean?
Facts. And you heard it here first. No limit. Right?
Hell yeah.
And fly us out too while you're at it. You know?
Man,
My boys out too.
Let's go, man.
no limit. There's no limit, bro.
Yeah. Get my
no
boys out
limit.
there.
Hell
Get
yeah.
my boys out there too.
Come on.
They need to do some podcasts down there with my people out in Australia and
100%.
their funny accent. We don't have the funny accent.
Like,
You guys have the funny accent.
Imagine that podcast be like, I'm sorry, what'd you say again? I didn't understand what you said, but
Yeah, man.
I'm excited to see and just witness your journey
Yeah.
because man, I'll be honest, from the conversations we've had, not only this today but before as well, like you have a really good head on your shoulders. The way you were raised, like the work ethic you have, there's no reason why you can't be a superstar, right? It's just number one, a matter of time.
Patience, bro. That's it. That's
Hey.
what I've been learning through all these fights.
Yeah, exactly.
just
That's,
patience.
that's it. The thing that I always I always say is that I am X. Time just hasn't caught up to me yet. You're a world champion. Just time just hasn't caught up to you yet.
Respect.
sir.
That's facts, man.
Hell
Come
yeah.
on, man.
man, just finishing up. I mean, do you still have any questions or?
No, that was my closing remark there, man.
Perfect.
Next time I'm on this, I'm gonna have that WBC right here.
That's
And I'll
I'm
carry it.
right there.
I'm gonna carry it though.
I'm gonna have one on him, one on him.
Hey, he needs help.
Yeah, I want to do one of those pictures where I'm holding it like this, you know?
Oh yeah, oh no, yeah, I like that. I like that.
I want that one though. Let me get your belt to take this picture. Right? Now, but man, where can they find you?
Yeah, so my Instagram is Dylan the Shark _S. And yeah, that's pretty much all the socials I'm on, bro. I'm just on Instagram. You can catch me, whatever, posting stories and all that, all my upcoming fights. And hopefully 2024, you see something big, you know. If not, 2025. If not, we're going to keep going.
You will see something of it.
You'll
You
see
will.
something soon.
Be patient. So our last question we asked everyone, obviously, who should be our next guest on this podcast? And obviously, you gotta hook us up, bro.
You guys want someone international or what?
Man, even if that guy's from Mars, we'll go there, bro. Come on, man.
Honestly, I gotta say my siblings, bro. My brother and sister, that'd be a good one. See the other side of things. You know,
Absolutely.
See what they think about me.
Yeah.
You know, or my coach, Bentley Ranger.
Bentley. Yeah, we just met him.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We'll
bro.
bring them all three.
Yeah.
That'd be sick.
And sooner or later, I'm gonna get George down here. Don't worry.
Hey,
George,
oh,
on
man, right?
He's gonna go up here, or are we gonna go down there?
No, you
Doesn't
guys
matter.
are gonna have to go down under.
Yeah.
He's bringing Lomachenko and Devaney down under. You guys are gonna have to go.
That's true. That's true. But that also works because I've never been there.
Yeah, that's true. That's facts. But imagine this, though. Imagine George getting work done at Olympus.
I
But
gotta visit.
yeah.
Of course, if I could do that, I'll do it, bro. But you know, George likes his gym. He got a bet in his
That's
gym.
true.
I'd rather go there anyway, so we'll go in there, bro.
It's
Why
too
would I
cold
go
over
to
here, bro.
Olympus to see George? I'm going to there.
I'm going to Australia.
Damn.
Down under, bro. Down
Hell
under.
yeah.
But no, Dylan, again, thank you
It's
so
amazing,
much.
man.
This is like
Thank you.
Oh,
just
respect.
hearing your whole story, hearing everything that you've gone through is just it's inspiring. It's inspiring to me.
Yeah.
Because it not only like just justifies everything that we always preach, it's just like don't be afraid to take risks.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, you're just gonna be the same old
Yeah,
person
nothing.
Exactly,
day in,
bro.
day out.
And I thank you guys for having me on this because without you guys, a lot of people, they know I'm not really big on social media. I don't talk a lot. I just like to do my work in silence. But now, you know, people understand a little bit more what I'm going
Hell
through
yeah.
and what I've been through and all that. So thank you guys.
And no, thank you, bro. But I think that story, the whole world deserves to know, man. Because again, it's not about the boxing and all that. It's not about who is in that story. It's what you did, man. Just you
Facts.
deciding to do that.
Yeah.
Everyone can relate.
Exactly.
So yeah, me can't wait, man. So thank you, man, for being a wonderful guest. Obviously, this is not a one-time thing.
Of
There'll
course,
be a lot of
we'll,
things, so.
we'll be on here again.
Gonna run
the
it back,
belts.
baby.
Hell
With
yeah.
the belts. Let's
With the
get it.
belts.
So,
I can't wait to carry them.
right, it's gonna be sick. It's gonna be so dope. So again, thank you so much, bro. Until next time, guys. My name is MP,
My name is Stefan SB.
and we got
Dylan the Shark Schroeder.
hey,
Hell yeah.
and we
And
are
we
out.
out, baby.